Hi, this is Glenda. I'm working on another Shoebox Swap card and I haven't actually made one yet. I thought I'd take you on the trip with me. I've sort of made my little prototype test bit and I was testing out different edgings, so it's a cascade card. Somewhere along the line I've completely missed these. I only noticed them for the first time the other day, and when I went looking for the tutorials they're all about a year old, so somehow I've just completely missed the whole cascade card thing. So my next step was to fiddle with the cardstock, and it's all sticky taped together and got weird bits going on there. And then I wrote down some little notes, and then I plotted out my sheet and worked out that if I use a 12 by 12 I can cut out the whole thing out of one sheet of 12 by 12 double-sided cardstock. There are some very elaborate ones out there and it involves a whole lot of layering and cutting your layers to size, and I thought there's also some where they've used double-sided and it seems to work quite well. So I've trimmed my 12 by 12 so it's a real 12 by 12 because some of them aren't. And I need to put some pencil marks, and I'm just wondering what side will show best. Probably neither. So I'm going to measure up 4 inches, which I can't see on black, or clear on black. No, it is black on black. So I'm going to do 4 inches there. And then I'm going to come down the other way 4 inches. I want it nice and dark because I'm about to go to the dark corner of my room and use my guillotine. Because I'm cutting diagonally, my paper cutter won't do it. So I'm going to cut... Oh look, I've lost the marks already. I knew it wasn't a good idea to film this. There's one, and there's the other. So I'm going to cut from those marks across like this, and I'll be back. Okay, so you can see that I have not cut anything yet. What I actually want to do is, there's my cut line, so I actually want to score. I thought I may as well score before I cut it, so I want to score. Let's hope I've got it all in the right direction. At 4, it might be better to do it after so as not to make a mistake, and at 8. Now okay, so now I have my 2 pieces and I'm going to put them together just to make sure that they're really even, and look, they're not. So at that point I want to cut off and make sure they are even, so I'm going to line up the angled edges and just trim it . No idea what went wrong there, but I have to on the funny little test prototype too, so now they're both exactly the same size. So now I'm sorry, you can see I really haven't done this yet before. I'm going to have, yes, they're going to be like this. So I'm going to have one side showing down one half and the other pattern showing down the other half. Let's hope the 2 patterns do go well. You'd think double-sided they should. So then what we want to do is take the cutter and we take one of them with the long edge, and we're going to cut at 2 inches. So I've got my score line on the 2 here, which is going to give me my 2-inch mark over here. Makes no sense, it's just the way this cutter works. And then I'm going to come up 3 1/4 and stop. And I'm going to move it over and line up the next score mark on the 2-inch mark, so I'm scoring at 6 this time, and I'm going to come up 3 1/4 and stop. And then the last one, we put it on there again, and so this is the 2 inches from the end, and we come up, where's the mark on? 3 1/4 is there. So on this one, we want to cut the angled edge. Sorry, the battery ran out. So there's my score line, and I'm putting it on the 2 inch mark again, but this time I'm going to cut from this edge in to 3 1/4. So where's my 3 there's my 3 1/4, so I'm going to come into there, move it along, put that score line on the 2 inch mark. From this angled edge I'm going to come in, it's easier to see here, to 3 1/4. And then the last one, 2 inches from the end, same thing, come into 3 1/4, like that. So back to my diagram, to make it the same way I did from my straight edge, I did 2, 6 and 8 up to the 3 1/4 mark, and then on the other piece from my angled edge I did 2, 6 and 8, and I came down to the 3 1/4. You don't actually cut across there, that's the 3 1/4 from the straight edge. So hopefully that makes sense. There are lovely tutorials out there, all written out with little diagrams. So then I'm going to punch my edge here. I did try on my funny bit, my 2 experiments, one was this punch and one was a deeper edge punch, and I don't think that's going to sit as well, so I've opted to try this one on my first finished card. My only finished card probably, that's why I'm showing you the first one as I go. Never make things twice if you don't have to. A little bit awkward punching on the angle, but it seemed to work. I did think about punching it before I did the slits, but thought it might be a bit harder to get them accurate, so didn't. Oh. Okay. There's one. And the other piece. Oops. Oh, success. Okay. We're quite sure with these things. Okay, so now you can fold your score lines. You want one to go back and the other one to go forward. So then this one I think does the reverse. If you get it wrong, you can bend it back the other way, as I found out on my little prototype. I suppose this is technically the prototype because it's finished, but I don't know. Who knows? So then you slot it in together. That. Okay. I'm wondering if my measurements aren't as 100% accurate as they should be. It just seems to be a little bit not lined up as well as it could be. But that's the Cascade card. Now most people suggest you need some sort of, like if you're lining this with matching paper, which you want it to go over the joint to secure them a bit. But I'm thinking with washi tape, the fad that it is, maybe I could use washi tape. Because I've decided to go with this pattern paper option, so I'm going to go and experiment a bit and come back. Okay, so I've got my washi tape. My card is still all folded together. So if you call it sticky tape, it's going to look horrible, but if you call it washi tape, it's all good. It becomes an embellishment. I want this to look a bit jagged, like it was meant to be like that. Which I guess it was, but let's make another join up here. Okay, we'll do the same thing on the other side. Okay. So now it's nice and sturdy. How to embellish it? I shall think about that and be back. Okay, I finished off my card. I'm not necessarily taking embellishments for people to do. I'm going to take the basic cardstock and the instructions, and they can embellish it how they please. Therefore it doesn't particularly matter how I did mine, but possibly should do another one because I made it really obscure. It says I am, it has some puzzle pieces and a key, and people can read into that any message that works for them. I may, because it was actually quite fun, I may do another one and do something girly or something. But I just thought it is a nice card. It's really hard to show with the angle I have the camera. I'm too lazy to move it for you. But yeah, and I mean it folds flat into a DL envelope. And obviously that depends on what embellishments you put on it. Some of them were beautiful, some of the cards. There were a lot of owl cards and a lot with lots of things popping off them, and because it lends itself to being a pop-out type thing. But anyway, this is another Shoebox Swap, complete with glue strands. So we'll see what happens next. Okay, I'm back. Time has passed. I showed you the finished card. I've also made a more feminine one and had another go at the basic one. This one I didn't have any pretty double-sided cardstock, so I used one that was white on the other side. There's my washi tape. And I think it looks okay, because you really, when you're looking at the card, you don't notice the insides there. I mean, yeah, you can finish yours any way you like. So there's my little more feminine card, and I decided to relent. I've cut out some clocks and some sentiments from TLC Creations Digistamps. So here's my next one of these, which is very similar. Again, there's my washi tape. You can hardly notice it on that side. On this side I used a gold. I didn't try and, make it look like it was... Well, I suppose I could have put it right up the seam, and I guess that would have looked okay. Anyway, you have to experiment with the washi tape. Yeah, so I'll take those basic embellishments, and once even... people can still add what they like. Possibly even a little string bow or something. We're trying to do masculine cards. So this is definitely it for now, unless I make another one for my grandson's birthday, if I can work out how to put Giggle and Hoot on it. But yeah, they're quite fun, and so I've enjoyed making cascade cards, and another skill. So thank you for watching.